Other campaign-related matters. The inquiry would not turn on what Attorney General Sessions would actually do if unrecused, but on whether the efforts to reverse his recusal would naturally have had the effect of impeding the Russia investigation. On multiple occasions in 2017, the President spoke with Sessions about reversing his recusal so that he could take over the Russia investigation and begin an investigation and prosecution of Hillary Clinton. For example, in early summer 2017, Sessions recalled the President asking him to unrecuse, but Sessions did not take it as a directive. When the President raised the issue again in December 2017, the President said, as recorded by Porter, "Not telling you to do anything. I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to do anything or direct you to do anything. I just want to be treated fairly." The duration of the President's efforts, which spanned from March 2017 to August 2018, and the fact that the President repeatedly criticized Sessions in public and in private for failing to tell the President that he would have to recuse, is relevant to assessing whether the President's efforts to have Sessions unrecused could qualify as obstructive acts. B. Nexus to an official proceeding. As described above, by mid-June 2017, the existence of a grand jury investigation supervised by the special counsel was public knowledge. In addition, in July 2017, a different grand jury supervised by the special counsel was impaneled in the District of Columbia, and the press reported on the existence of this grand jury in early August 2017. Footnote 776. 776 E.G. Del Quinton Wilbur and Byron Tao, Special Counsel Robert Mueller, impanels Washington Grand Jury in Russia Probe. Wall Street Journal, August 3, 2017. Carol D. Leonig et al., Special Counsel Miller, using Grand Jury in Federal Court in Washington as part of Russia investigation. Washington Post, August 3, 2017. Whether the conduct towards the Attorney General would have a foreseeable impact on those proceedings turns on much of the same evidence discussed above with respect to the obstructive act element. C. Intent. There is evidence that at least one purpose of the President's conduct toward Sessions was to have Sessions assume control over the Russia investigation and supervise it in a way that would restrict its scope. By the summer of 2017, the President was aware that the special counsel was investigating him personally for obstruction of justice. And in the wake of the disclosures of emails about the June 9th meeting between Russians and senior members of the campaign, see Volume 2, Section 2G, Supra, it was evident that the investigation into the campaign now included the President's son, son-in-law, and former campaign manager. The President had previously and unsuccessfully sought to have Sessions publicly announce that the special counsel investigation would be confined to future election interference. Yet Sessions remained recused. In December 2017, shortly after Flynn pleaded guilty, the President spoke to Sessions in the Oval Office with only Porter present and told Sessions that he would be a hero if he unrecused. Porter linked that request to the President's desire that Sessions take back supervision of the Russia investigation and direct an investigation of Hillary Clinton. The President said in that meeting that he, quote, just wanted to be treated fairly, unquote, which could reflect his perception that it was unfair that he was being investigated while Hillary Clinton was not. But a principal effect of that act would be to restore supervision of the Russia investigation to the Attorney General, a position that the President frequently suggested should be occupied by someone like Eric Holder and Bobby Kennedy, who the President described as protecting their presidents. A reasonable interference with those statements and the President's actions is that the President believed that an unrecused Attorney General would play a protective role and could shield the President from the ongoing Russian investigation. 1. The President orders McGahn to deny that the President tried to fire the special counsel. Overview. In late January 2018, the media reported that in June of 2017, the president had ordered McGahn to have the special counsel fired based on purported conflicts of interest, but McGahn had refused, saying he would quit instead. After the story broke, the president, through his personal counsel and two aides, sought to have McGahn deny that he had been directed to remove the special counsel. Each time he was approached, McGahn responded that he would not refute the press accounts because they were accurate in reporting on the president's effort to have the special counsel removed. The president later personally met with McGahn in the Oval Office with only the chief of staff present and tried to get McGahn to say that the president never ordered him to fire the special counsel. McGahn refused and insisted his memory of the president's direction to remove the special counsel was accurate. In that same meeting, the president challenged McGahn for taking notes of his discussions with the president and asked why he had told special counsel investigators that he had been directed to have the special counsel removed. Evidence. 1. The press reports that the president tried to fire the special counsel. On January 25, 2018, the New York Times reported that in June 2017, the president had ordered McGahn to have the Department of Justice fire the special counsel. Note 777. Michael S. Schmidt and Maggie Haberman. Trump ordered Mueller fired, but backed off when White House counsel threatened to quit. New York Times, January 25, 2018. According to the article, quote, amid the first wave of news media reports that Mr. Mueller was examining a possible obstruction case, the president began to argue that Mr. Mueller had 3 conflicts of interest that disqualified him from overseeing the investigation. End quote. Note 778. Michael S. Schmidt and Maggie Haberman. Trump ordered Mueller fired, but backed off when White House counsel threatened to quit. New York Times, January 25, 2018. The article further reported that, quote, after receiving the president's order to fire Mr. Mueller, the White House counsel refused to ask the Justice Department to dismiss the special counsel, saying he would quit instead, end quote. Note 779. Michael S. Schmidt and Maggie Haberman. Trump ordered Mueller fired but backed off when White House counsel threatened to quit. New York Times, January 25, 2018. The article stated that the president, quote, ultimately backed down after the White House counsel threatened to resign rather than carry out the directive. Note 780. Michael S. Schmidt and Maggie Haberman. Trump ordered Mueller fired but backed off when White House counsel threatened to quit. New York Times, January 25, 2018. After the article was published, the president dismissed the story when asked about it by reporters, saying, quote, fake news, folks. Fake news. A typical New York Times fake story. Note 781. Sophie Tatum and Kara Scannell. Trump denies he called for Mueller's firing. CNN, January 26, 2018. Michael S. Schmidt and Maggie Haberman. Trump ordered Mueller fired but backed off when White House counsel threatened to quit. New York Times, January 25, 2018. The next day, the Washington Post reported on the same event but added that McGahn had not told the president directly that he intended to resign rather than carry out the directive to have the special counsel terminated. Note 782. The Post article stated, quote, despite internal objections, Trump decided to assert that Mueller had unacceptable conflicts of interest and moved to remove him from his position. In response, McGahn said he would not remain at the White House if Trump went through with the move. McGahn did not deliver his resignation threat directly to Trump, but was serious about his threat to leave. End quote. Rosalind S. Helderman and Josh Dawsey. Trump moved to fire Mueller in June, bringing White House counsel to the brink of leaving. Washington Post, January 26, 2018. 2. The President seeks to have McGahn dispute the press reports. On January 26, 2018, the President's personal counsel called McGahn's attorney and said that the President wanted McGahn to put out a statement denying that he had been asked to fire the special counsel and that he had threatened to quit and protest. Note 784. McGahn, 3/8/18, 302 in parentheses, agent note. McGahn's attorney spoke with McGahn about that request and then called the President's personal counsel to relay that McGahn would not make a statement. Note 785. McGahn, 3/8/18, 302 in parentheses, agent note. McGahn's attorney informed the President's personal counsel that the Times story was accurate in reporting that the President wanted the special counsel removed. Note 786. McGahn, 3/8/18, 302 in parentheses, agent note. Accordingly, McGahn's attorney said, although the article was inaccurate in some other respects, McGahn could not comply with the President's request to dispute the story. Note 787. McGahn, 3/8/18, 302 in parentheses, agent note. Hicks recalled relaying to the President that one of his attorneys had spoken to McGahn's attorney about the issue. Note 788. Hicks, 3/13/18, 302 Hicks also recalled that the President spoke on the phone that day with Chief of Staff John Kelly, and that the President said Kelly told him that McGahn had totally refuted the story and was going to put out a statement. Hicks, 3/13/18, 302 but Kelly said that he did not speak to McGahn when the article came out and did not tell anyone he had done so. Kelly, 8/2/18, 302 1-2.